What's happening, everybody? I appreciate you checking in. All right, week 18, game 17, last game of the season against the ugly ass light blue Los Angeles Chargers. I'm gonna kind of break this thing down, and usually when I break our matchups down, I take a look at position groups or players or coaches or what have you. And honestly, at this point, I think the writing's on the wall. There's not a whole lot we can take from this game, especially given the fact that the Chargers, a lot of what the Chargers are going to bring to the table on Sunday's matchup is going to be based on Saturday night's game, the Steelers versus Cincinnati. And so we're going to kind of take a look at that as well, and we'll see what Chargers are going to bring this week. But there's also something I'm going to be looking for that really has nothing to do with the game. And so I'm definitely going to throw that out there and kind of get you guys' opinion on whether or not we may see this change happen. I'll tell you right now, if it is going to devastate the hell out of me if we do see this change. And so, one question I do have for you is, and let me know in the comment section down below, do you think this is the last game Antonio Pierce will coach as a Las Vegas Raider? Let me know in the comment section down below, because I think that's the biggest question once this game is over, on whether or not AP is going to be the head coach moving forward. So let me know in the comment section down below. My next video, I'm going to give you my opinion as to whether or not I think or I want AP to be the head coach. So look out for that next video. So as I say that, hit that like button, subscribe, turn those notifications. My next giveaway is at 4,500 subscribers. So if you want to be included in that, hit that subscribe button, but also turn on that notification bell so you do know when I go live. This is my pre-game breakdown of our Chargers matchup, but I'll definitely hit you with my instant reaction as well as a post-game live after the game. So hit that notification bell so you do know when I go live after the game. So let's kind of get into this. Like I said before, I typically kind of break these things down. I look at position groups or specific players or coaches and just kind of continue the evaluation process on how we want to move forward next season. But again, I think the writing's on the wall. But one of the things that I was looking for last year, right, when we played against the Denver Broncos, that was the opportunity for Antonio Pierce as the interim head coach to go above 500 as the interim head coach. And I wanted to know, are these players still playing for Antonio Pierce? We weren't going to make the playoffs. There was nothing to really play for except for their own personal incentives. But I wanted to know, are these players playing for Antonio Pierce? And right now, I can't say the same thing. I cannot say the same thing with this last game going up against the Chargers, because look, yes, these players are playing for their own individual incentives, but it still remains to be seen whether or not these players are playing for Antonio Pierce. These players are still trying to put their own individual tape out there for the Raiders to bring them back next season. I mean, I want to say it's close to half this roster is going to be free agents next year. And so these players are playing for their individual careers at this point, whether it be with the Raiders or if it's with another team moving forward. And so it remains to be seen if they're actually fighting for Antonio Pierce. Let me know in the comment section down below. Do you think these players are still fighting for Antonio Pierce? Let me know in the comment section down below. Now, before I get into the one individual position group that I'm going to be focusing on, the Chargers have already clinched the playoffs, and so a lot is going to be determined Saturday night against the game against the Steelers and the Cincinnati Bengals. Right now, the Chargers sit in the 6th seed, and they currently now have to face the Ravens if nothing changes. But if the Cincinnati Bengals were to beat the Pittsburgh Steelers, and that would actually drop them in the rankings, and the Chargers have a chance to sit in the number 5 seed. And with that being said, that's a massive change in opponents. So if they sit in the 5 seed, then they'll actually face the Houston Texans. The Houston Texans would be a much favorable matchup for the Los Angeles Chargers than having to face the Ravens in the playoffs. And so that's a huge game that the Chargers are going to be watching Saturday night, Cincinnati versus the Steelers. A lot is going to be based on that, because if the Steelers do beat Cincinnati, then I think there's a really good chance that the Chargers, they're going to sit their starters. They're not playing for anything. They're going to walk in the same position as they stand now at the number 6 seed. And so, in my opinion, a lot is going to be riding on the outcome of the Saturday night game, Steelers versus Cincy. So with that said, it kind of remains to be seen just what the outcome of this game is going to be. Now, moving forward to just position groups, I'm definitely going to be looking at the offensive line. The offensive line needs to continue to show progression. That's the biggest thing for us, is I want to see this offensive line continue to grow and just do well. You're still going to see Jackson Powers-Johnson. I do hope Jordan Meredith can get out there. I don't think he's played the last 3 or 4 games. I want to see him continue to improve and be a potential starting guard for us next season. Dylan Parham, I think at the very best should be a backup. I think we definitely need to bring in either a extremely good guard in free agency or potentially draft one, maybe the next guard of the future. But DJ Glaze, I want to see him continue to progress and see Colton Miller continue to be the stud he's been so far this season. He's done extremely well, especially as after he's fully recovered off of that shoulder surgery and kind of got his feet back underneath him. He's actually been a pretty solid offensive tackle for us. And so this entire offensive line is still going to be see some good edge rushers coming off the edge from this Chargers defense. You know, they like to mix things up. They like to and bring a lot of pressure. And so it's going to be a test, no matter if they're sitting starters or not. It's still going to be a test for this offensive line. I just kind of I want to see how they progress and how they show up. Now, in addition to that, unfortunately, Amir Abdullah, he's out coming off of basically the best rushing game he's had of his career. And so it's unfortunate that he's not playing, but Alexander Mattson, next man up. It would be interesting to see if we do see a little bit of Dylan Labe. Let me know in the comment section down below. If you want to see Dylan Labe get some carries, get some opportunities, I'd like to see him get maybe 5-6 carries this game just to kind of see what he can do, see if we need to address the running back room when it comes to the third down back situation. Because Amir Abdullah, he's a free agent. I'd love to see us bring him back. I think he's proven that he could be an asset to this running back room. And at the same time, this running back room is a mess. And so not only do we need to find a solidified starter, but we also need to find depth pieces. And so I'd love to see, because Amir Abdullah isn't playing, I definitely want to see Dylan Labe just get some opportunity. Let's just see what he can do. Let me know in the comment section down below if you want to see Dylan Labe get some opportunities this game. Now, before I get to the biggest thing that I'm going to be looking out for, number one, I want to see us continue to feed Brock Bowers. You know, make sure that he continues just to explode these stat lines, you know, continue to grow off of the success he's already seen. So definitely feed the ball to Brock Bowers. But I also want to see Jacoby Myers get over 1,000 yards. I think he needs 96 more yards to break that 1,000-yard mark. Let's get him that milestone. Hit that like button if you want to see Jacoby Myers hit that 1,000-yard mark. Now, last but not least, the one thing I'm definitely going to be watching out for is, what does this crowd look like at Allegiant Stadium? Again, the Chargers, they clinched the playoffs. Right. This fan base is now excited. Now, we really only have 2 home games throughout the entire season. It's our home away from home when we go play the Chargers in SoFi, and it's whenever we play the Chargers at Allegiant Stadium. I mean, last year, that Chargers game, we put up 63 points. I mean, that stadium was completely blacked out. And ever since we've moved to Allegiant Stadium, we've always blacked out this stadium against the Chargers. But now the days are different. Right? They are now a playoff team, and we're still sitting the same exact team we've been for years. And so I'm really curious, is this Charger fan base going to now take over Allegiant Stadium? And now they're going to take away the only true home game that we ever have. And if they do, all right, I'm going to feel extremely bad for these Raider players. I mean, one of the things in football, and just really any sport, but specifically in football, you look forward to your home games, not only because you're playing at home, right? You don't have to go and travel across the country or what have you, but you're playing in front of your home crowd. You're playing in front of a stadium that's going to blow up when you take the field, when you make a good play, when you need that 3rd and 2 stop, and that stadium erupts because they want you to make that stop, or they get hyped because it's a 3rd and 2 and you're on offense and you got to get those 2 yards. They get hyped up for you. If this Chargers fan base takes over this stadium for the one home game that we have, I'm going to be extremely disappointed, and I'm going to feel bad for these Raider players. You know, that is something that as a football player, you look forward to every single year, is playing at home in front of your home crowd. And we just don't have that anymore. And that's one of the things that attracts free agents as well. You look at some of the best fan bases out there in football, right? You get to look at the Eagles, right? If you are a player for the Philadelphia Eagles and you play at home, you know that you're going to have nothing but diehard fans crowding that entire stadium cheering you on, right? And so, obviously, as long as you're doing good, right? They could turn on you in a heartbeat, but it's a dedicated fan base that shows their support day in and day out, and they want to see you win. Unfortunately, we don't have that Allegiant Stadium. Every single one of our home games, they're away games, because opposing teams' fans absolutely flood that stadium. But we only get one home game a year, and that's against the Los Angeles Chargers. And I'll tell you again, if they take over the stadium, it is going to be a sad day. It's going to be a sad day for the Raider players as well as the Raider fan base, that we no longer have a home game anymore. And if the Chargers continue to do well and they continue to grow and we continue to either stay the same or regress, it's just going to be sad. And so that's definitely something I'm going to be looking out for during this game on Sunday, is whether or not the Raider fan base shows up. If we show up and we can continue to show the support for our Raider players, or does this Chargers fan base, now that they're good, now that they have clinched the playoffs, will they come out and take over Allegiant Stadium? That's definitely something I'm going to be looking out for. So again, guys, this is kind of my breakdown. Again, I think the writing's on the wall. All right. There's not a whole lot to look forward to this game except for individual accomplishments. Again, feed Brock Bowers the rock. Let's try to get Jacoby Myers over that 1,000-yard milestone. So feed those guys. And I want to see this offensive line continue to show progress moving forward. Now, last but not least, you know, will we win this game? Again, a lot rides on the outcome of the Cincinnati Steelers game for the Chargers. They may sit a lot of players, so we might come away with just an easy win because they're sitting players. But and again, it's never easy, right? These are all professionals, so they could sit some players and it still could be a tough game. All right, we're not very good, but let me know in the comment section down below. Do you want to see us win? Do you want to see us, lose this game and improve our draft status, our draft position, or do you want to see us just win? Let me know in the comment section down below. Do you want to see us lose this game, potentially improve our draft position in the next draft? I think we currently sit at 8. I think the best we could do is 4, maybe 5. If we do lose this game, maybe we do get to that 6 or 5 mark, depending on the outcomes of other games. Or do you want to see us win? Because if we do win, I think we drop to number 10. And here's the thing: you drop to number 10, now you're in a position, even at 8, as we sit today. But if we drop number 10, you kind of take yourself out of the opportunity to get the top player at whatever position you draft. So, for example, if we pick if we want to go receiver, sitting at number 10, there's a good chance you're not getting the top receiver in the next draft class. You're not going to get the top quarterback, And again, they're not saying that you, as a viewer, want that, but I'm just saying, if you are a fan that wants to see us draft next year the top player at that position, sitting at number 8, number 10, not going to happen. So here's my opinion on this. And again, this is the very first year as a Raider fan. I've been a Raider fan since 9 years old. All right. So I've been a Raider fan for a very long time. This is the first time that I don't want to see us win. I don't. I want to see us improve our draft stats because we need all the help we can get. All right. Now I understand it's the Chargers. We always want to beat the Chargers, but the writing's on the wall at this point. The season is what it is. My thing is that I want to see us improve our draft position as much as possible so that we have the best chance to get the top player at whatever position that we go after. All right. I don't want to see us trade up because in order to trade up, you're going to get rid of draft capital. I don't want to see us get rid of draft capital. I want Tom Telesco to have as much draft picks as possible to build this roster and potentially move us in the direction of success. And so I want to see us get to that number 6, maybe a number 5 spot. And the guy that I'm going to target at the number 6, number 5 position is, again, if Cam Ward drops to that number 5 or number 6, if we're sitting there, man, I'd take him in a heartbeat. That's just me. But if he doesn't, I'm eyeballing that Arizona receiver, McMillan. That's the guy that's on my radar right now. Again, I got to do more research. I'm going to look more scout film and stuff like that. I'm definitely going to break down more of their films. I'm going to be doing more of that in the offseason. But that Arizona receiver is something I'm eyeballing because I'll tell you right now, if we pick up a quarterback maybe in the later rounds or we continue to ride with Aiden O'Connell, the thing is if we can have that Arizona receiver, McMillan, Jacoby Myers, Trey Tucker, Brock Bowers, now you're building weapons around a potential quarterback piece. And that's what I want to see. I think that kid is a true 50-50 ball guy. He also has the ability to get separation. I mean, he's an electric receiver. But again, at 6'5", 6'6", we have a true 50-50 ball guy that could bail out any quarterback, no matter who you have under center in the 2025 season. And so, again, let me know in the conversation down below. Let me know in the comment section down below. Do you want to see us win this upcoming game against the Los Angeles Chargers? Let me know in the comment section down below. Again, guys, look, final game, week 18, game 17. We're going to end the season the way we started against the Los Angeles Chargers. Can't believe that the season has come and gone this quickly, but make sure you guys hit that notification bell because I'm going to continue to hit you with a ton of comment, whether it be player evaluations coming out of college, all the college prospects. I'm going to hit you with mock drafts. I'm definitely going to hit you with my opinions on who I want moving forward, not only in the first round, second rounds, but definitely in the later rounds, because there's a ton of sleepers that can come up and players that will drop that we potentially can pick up in the later rounds. So I'm definitely going to be hitting you with all my opinions. All right. So with the 2024 season in the books, again, I can't say thank you enough to all you guys that supported me through this season. I just started this channel at the beginning of last season, so it's been a short journey, but I'm telling you, there is much more to look forward to in the years to come, because I'm gonna keep riding this wave. You guys have made this journey so enjoyable, and I can't thank you guys enough. So again, hit that like button, subscribe, turn those notifications. I'm gonna hit you after the game with my instant reaction, as well as go live and kind of break down this game as we see it. So I appreciate you. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you on the next one. I'm out.